Here I'm joined as ever by my partners in crime, Sammy, and how you doing, guys?
I'm doing great.
Good, good. Right, well, I've done a bit of grinding with Aqua. She's a little stronger now. I might as well get to the next level before we,
Yeah, well, she's not really your kind of playstyle, really, is she?
Oh, she's a little more of that now. Now that her strength's gone up a bit.
Oh, Aqua. Everyone kind of loves Aqua.
Yeah, I cartwheel a lot because it makes for quicker movement.
She has got to have some very strong wrists.
Yeah.
And Ollie, I've got to send you some clips from Brickleberry. I think if you've been missing, you know, the kind of humour that Drawn Together gives you, you might actually like that, or you might actually like that show. It's kind of the same kind of stuff, you know, just horrific, you know, the kind of horrific shit you'd expect.
Right. Okay, well, let's, Did you see what stat went up when I leveled up just now? Because I missed it.
I might be a bit laggy.
I assume I leveled up because, there's 400 points to the next one, which there shouldn't be. Oh, well, I'm sure it's something. Oh.
So, Ollie, you giving any thought to the whole terror thing yet?
Not yet. I will do it again, but I probably won't stream myself doing it again. Like, I'll do it on the quiet.
And now you're playing as Thea Creighton.
Yep.
Just stay away from alcohol.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I can't remember. Are you up to date on the Arrowverse?
I just watched The Flash yesterday.
I'm a few weeks behind. I keep forgetting to watch it, but I am a couple of weeks behind. What's the last thing I remember happening? The last thing I watched was the first return episode of Legends of Tomorrow.
Right.
By the way, I don't know if you can see this, but I told you, like, a can of iced coffee from a Japanese section in the spa shop in my campus centre.
Oh, the Daily Mail claims that the UK is running out of gas, but because of the you know, the weather. Oh, and apparently England's going to try and sue Scotland, so that should be fun.
Despite having no legal grounds to stand on, I imagine.
Oh, well, no, they're trying to sue Scotland now because Scotland have just pressed a thing to basically protect them. So basically, Nicola Sturgeon told Theresa May, "You're not taking away the power, the devolved powers, because they legally have to have them."
Yeah.
Or Scotland has a law that explains that Scotland has to have these laws. And then when they were told this, they then offered a law, a bunch of laws that, I think to take only a few laws, and was told no. And now we've made a legislation to protect ourselves from Brexit, pretty much. So they're suing us for that. Oh yeah, they're also trying to sue us because we banned fracking.
Yeah, I'm not a lawyer, but I don't think any of that stuff is valid.
Well, they've been given the rights to, apparently. The companies that do the fracking have been given the rights to sue the Scottish government because they claim it's taking away their human rights to, you know, frack in someone else's country.
Okay, yeah, I haven't actually tested out the bubble attack, but yeah, Aqua's
Jesus
got
Christ! I told you it was broken as shit.
It wasn't that powerful the last time I used it, but then I haven't used it since before I started grinding. I don't remember what level I was before.
The Queen is gone, my service done. Adieu, O victorious one.
The Queen's gone, my service done. Adieu, O virtuous one. Okay, have fun being the other half of the Phantom of the Opera's mask. Oh come on, we were all thinking it. I'm staring at the girl in the mirror. Who is this?
Oh, by the way, Sam, have you noticed? Have you noticed the title of this episode?
What? Hold on, what's it called?
I've called it Aqua Vita.
Oh god, so you basically called it piss.
Well, I was trying to be
Literally
subtle.
just called this episode Aqua Vita, which is literally piss.
Princess!
I don't know that that's what it means. Maybe it's just what it was meant as on the League of Gentlemen.
Okay.
It means the water of life, I think. But that is a reference. It's also a reference to it being on a handheld console, even if it wasn't technically on the Vita.
It could be played on there, I suppose.
Yeah. Was there a digital version?
I don't know, because I know there wasn't one of Crisis Core, which was weird.
Yeah, I know, because I looked for it.
I'm getting the distinct impression it was probably digital in Japan.
I mean, I'd buy a Crisis Core remake if they did one, like just a straight up port for the PS4. I'd do it.
Wake up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I told you, didn't I? I had a bit of a haul today. I had a 9 AM tutorial. A load of shit went wrong before it. Well, I told you about that last night, but
You're awake. Ventus. Oh, it's a miracle.
then got snowed out, so I went to town. And I spent the last of my dad's birthday money.
Yeah, you got some more Dragon Ball Z movies.
And Thor, Ragnarok.
Ah, nice. So that's just one more Dragon Ball Z movie to get. When it comes out.
I've got the Dead Zone and World's Strongest double pack, the Tree of Might and Lord Slug one. You got me the Broly trilogy.
Yeah, I'm glad. I like how it's like, well, I didn't want to buy it, I'd only bought it if it was necessary. I don't know if that denotes the gift or makes it a convenience.
Well,
every waking is a new journey.
Of all of them that I would have liked most to receive for no money of my own, that one was probably the best choice.
Well, I'm glad me and Liz made the right choice.
You did indeed.
Yeah,
but
about the movie,
I think there are 13 movies, so that's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, there are the 13. That's one more double pack. Which I think
unless they bring out the unless they actually do an English version of Yo Son Goku.
I don't know that was ever released in any capacity outside of Japan, but
it should.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And also the other Dragon Ball one was re-released on the original Dragon Ball box sets.
Yeah.
But we never got the other one. We never got the other ones. You know, where Chaozu has a doll wife and for some reason he's an emperor.
Yeah.
So, which worlds have you already done?
I think I
Just that one and
inside.
the Cinderella one.
Ah. So Antoine's never going to appear again?
No.
Because he also did the voice of...
Yeah.
Because he also did the voice of the Duke.
Ah.
That guy was just screaming at Antoine.
Ah.
I know. Oh, that French coyote.
Okay, I think I'm a little stronger than I should be at this point in the game, so we should breeze through this.
Ooh, that will be wonderful.
These are clearly not unversed. Like, I know we made this point last time. These are clearly not unversed. They are part of the world. She is committing murder. She's violating the Prime Directive.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, she's following her brother's footsteps.
Unversed, you have failed this city.
You haven't actually said that for a while, haven't
Yeah. But because he's developed a no-kill policy.
you? Yeah. When possible. It's like, if he can avoid it, he does.
But we're like, you're not Batman. Stop trying to be Batman.
Hurt somebody like that.
Yeah. Well, Arrow is just Batman with archery.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
For he agreed so
And also
easily.
very good character development.
Fen, don't be fooled.
Aqua.
Yeah, I have liked the development in Arrow, because towards the end of Season 2, I absolutely hated Thea. I couldn't stand her.
Yeah.
And then by the end of Season 3, when, spoiler alert, Ra's al Ghul put a sword in her, I was like, no!
Closest of friends. After all,
It's
one
Rachel.
never
Just as I
knows
was-
the secrets of
No,
another's
it's Ra's.
I'm
Rach.
sure you'll agree.
Well,
Ventus.
you're entitled to your opinion, however wrong it may be.
Well, both of you are
The
correct.
master sent me.
Because it
Thank
could
you,
be
Ian.
pronounced.
Ven,
It could be
let's
pronounced
go
either
home.
way.
But Tara.
Tara's
Okay,
not
we
ready
can.
to
I can
leave.
agree to disagree. In fact, I
Yeah,
can agree
'cause-
to agree.
Raish is the official pronunciation according to the creator, but it's actually
Yeah, take that,
pronounced.
Ollie, dick.
What?
It's just
But the
But-
actual
I have to
pronunciation
find him
is
before
Raz
it's
because
too
it's
late.
Arabic for the demon's head.
I see you
Uh,
too wield
Is it like Raiden and
How do you
Raiden
know
from Mortal
about the
Kombat,
Keyblade?
in that Raiden is the official pronunciation, but the word is
He
pronounced
that opens the
Raiden?
hearts of men, of entire worlds.
Something like that.
Allows one to obtain
That's something I really need to
anything
pick
and
up at one point when I get my next
Such a
payment.
power I find
Mortal
most
Kombat?
fascinating.
I think I should get Mortal Kombat Deception and Deadly Alliance.
Ah, yeah,
They were £2. They were £2 each.
those were good.
Now, my dear, would you like to
Yeah, the
assist
thing is,
me
I
as
played
well?
I played Deception before I played Deadly Alliance.
I see.
Oh, and the PSP
Theodore
game
was
fucks it
right.
all in the ass.
You are a most
Yeah.
stubborn girl.
Mortal Kombat
Master
Unchained, where they
Xehanort,
bring,
how
where
do
it
you-
was made after
It
Armageddon was
seems you
made,
need time to consider my offer.
and so they forced
Fortunately, I
Blaze
have
in and
the
actually give him his
perfect
backstory right there and then.
Right.
Oh yeah, they also brought in a few extra characters. Shao Kahn was playable.
Shao Kahn
Wasn't
was
there a-
playable?
Yeah, in the GameCube version of Deception, as well as the PSP version of Unchained, which is just an updated
It
port.
looks like I was caught in a
Shao
trap.
Kahn was actually playable in Deception, where it
Why
turns out
me?
he didn't die, he used a body
Prevent me
double.
from breaking her evil curse. I was to meet the most
And he and
beautiful
Goro
girl
kill
in the cottage
Onaga.
in the glen. But now my true love lies in an eternal slumber, and only I can break the spell.
You must really love her.
Is what you
Wasn't
say.
there a
just met.
Yes, Maleficent told me.
Oh, Prince
well,
Philip,
he
it's you.
met her as a baby.
Now,
I
Philip,
don't think that's going to
the
win
road to true
any
love may
points
be
for
barred
Ollie,
by
really.
many more
No,
dangers,
not
which you
really.
alone will have to face.
I'm going with you. There's something I need to know, and Maleficent has the answer.
Yes, of
Yeah, I
course.
watched a
dear.
review of Eternal Darkness where
Now
they
come
mentioned
along.
that all
We
the
must
people who
hurry
were
to
involved with it
Aurora.
were pretty much voice acting right afterwards for Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. It's nice to see something like this without Tara Strong voicing 80% of the cast.
Something
I hope
wrong
she's
with
in the
Tara
next
Strong.
game.
I don't know. I think it was mainly the fact that it was just a thing because they literally used David Hayter and everything for just a few minor lines.
Yeah.
He voices a couple of Roman soldiers and that's it.
Huh.
Eternal Darkness! Good game.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a Mortal Kombat game where it's like an action adventure and you can only play as one of the characters? I can't
I don't
remember
know.
which one. Can't remember
I
which
think
one
you
it
might be
was.
thinking about the Conquest mode in Deception.
Well, Legacy, yeah. What with Mortal Kombat? Yeah, there was there were two of them. In Armageddon, you play as Taven. Basically, the entire point of Armageddon is that you play as a guy called Taven, who's one of the sons of this one god and this other god of Edenia, and universe who's a combatant, have them fight, and then whoever defeats Blaze will gain the power of some kind. But if Taven or Dagon win, it will either kill all of the combatants, or it will remove all their powers. However, the actual ending turned out to be Shao Kahn's. Because everyone got there, everyone fought, and even though the conquest mode for said game ends with Taven winning, but then nothing happened. What actually happened was Shao Kahn actually made it to the top, defeated Blaze, and then started murdering Raiden, leaving only himself and Shinnok as the surviving combatants. Though the new Mortal Kombat game seems to suggest that Shang Tsung will be returning as a good guy.
Well, that's odd.
Well, a lot of the endings seem to have it changed that Raiden is no longer able to defeat, lost Liu Kang, because Liu Kang is now the ruler of the Netherrealm. And with Shinnok and Quan Chi gone, the only threat now is from the Netherrealm.
Oh, I found it.
What is it?
It's Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero.
Oh god, not mythologies, not mythologies. I thought, and here was me worrying you'd come up with Mortal Kombat Special Forces.
Oh god, yeah, I had that.
So yeah, it's a game where you just play as Sub-Zero.
Yeah, I know. You play as the original Sub-Zero. I should make that a point. With live action people, including Shinnok and Quan Chi.
Oh, Jack's here doing everything I get him. Sure. Just let me kill these foos. Keep foos killed. Yeah, you brought it over once. We did. We
Persuasion as well.
Yeah.
Though I have to admit that that Mortal Kombat 9 really did fix a lot of Mortal Kombat's
You
issues.
didn't want me around.
Sorry?
Portland would think you didn't want me around.
No, not at all. I didn't know, that's not it at all. No, not at all, I don't want you around. Sorry, I'm tired, I'm not wording good today. How are you doing, Jack?
Doing alright, very cold though.
Yes. Head into the dungeon. Maybe we'll meet Stu Hart. Oh.
Well,
Right,
here I
this
was
is-
thinking you were posting all the powers of hell.
No, not yet. I have leveled up a bit, so the magic mirror was actually surprisingly little trouble.
Did you make any progress with that Steam idea of yours?
Oh, not just yet. I will, it is possible to stream from Steam, because I've seen it done. I just need to figure out how it's done.
Okay,
Yeah, I was thinking, Sam, you remember Stronghold, right? I was thinking of streaming that at some point.
You mentioned Stronghold, and all I'm thinking of is just making a zigzag maze with the maze of a gauntlet and sending one peasant to while a load of people fire arrows.
That was Stronghold Crusader. What we did was we built a castle in the creation mode and lined all the walls with archers, crossbowmen, as I recall, and just had one, slave, because you could get slaves in that game, in the middle. And if he made it to the gatehouse, we would let him live. One of them almost made it.
Oh yeah, that was the point. That was what I was going to say. One person almost made it, and you and me were bricking it. Holy shit, is he actually going to do it?
Ah, pointless slaughter.
Yeah, but it's the first RTS game I really properly got into was Stronghold, and I want to replay it because I want to see if the story mode holds up.
Here's a game. Civilization 6.
Oh god, yeah, we can talk. Yeah, Ian's just discovered Gandhi.
Oh no, not Gandhi. Gandhi's a dick.
Yeah, Ian has discovered Gandhi and how evil he is, and he even read a webcomic where they did it from the perspective of Gandhi, where he talked about slaughtering everyone, including the women and children.
You point out that man was assassinated. And could possibly potentially be considered a good man compared by many others who haven't been assassinated, who are by definition...
No, we're talking specifically about the Civilization version of Mahatma Gandhi, who, due to the AI being faulty, is the most psychotically violent character in the entire game.
Only in the first one because of the glitch, but then they just added it in intentionally.
I must have been trained by Yuma. Although Physics would drive a person insane.
And they've released the expansion pack this year.
Oh, nice.
It'd be good to stream Star Wars Empire at War. I want to see if I can beat Ollie at Galactic Conquest.
We'll see.
I'm hoping at some point I'll be able to use the Death Star against the planet and I'll start hearing you say, no, Jack, don't fire that, don't fire that. You maniac! You blew it up!
God damn it, Gandhi.
Yeah, Gandhi is just the best thing in it. Just because they intentionally made him psychotic, because it's just kind of how it is now.
You were supposed to fire a ranged attack against the guys on the roof.
Did I?
high ground, the thing that killed Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
That's not the high ground way.
I mean, the Jedi way.
The point is, I won because I got the high ground.
Which still doesn't make sense.
For my brother Anakin, high ground.
Oh, bugger.
Can't you just help? Can you just help me here? And, you know, let me get, help me. I'm burning pretty bad. That's not the high ground way. I mean the Jedi way.
It does actually bother me. I didn't think to at least put him out of his misery, or even just force push him into the lava river.
Yeah, he should have killed him then and there. Like, don't leave him like that.
I mean, yeah, Sidious would have found another apprentice, but...
That's not the point. The point is he left a man in agony instead of doing the decent thing and ending him.
Yeah.
Ollie, if we've learned anything, it's that the Jedi are dicks. Oh yeah, and they've also done a time paradox thing in that Star Wars Rebels thing where now Ahsoka is still alive.
That bothers me immensely.
Yeah, she was based. Some guy found some time portal thing, and he accidentally reached in and pulled her into his time.
I haven't actually seen Star Wars Rebels, so.
Well, Ahsoka's in it.
Delving into areas Star Wars shouldn't go into.
But at least it has Billy D. Williams. The coolest man on the planet.
People.
You don't get as cool as Billy D. Williams.
Oh, Sam, I told Jack earlier about Don Cheadle as Captain Planet.
Oh god, that thing.
Yeah, I forgot to look that up.
The power is mad, bitches.
Came up in conversation.
I think it gets worse. As
I
time
told
goes
him he
by.
plays basically an evil militant Captain Planet.
But to begin with, it starts off okay, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse as time goes by, and then at the end he's finally defeated by his arch enemy, which, funnily enough, is not pollution.
It came up in conversation when I discovered he was on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah. I said, Don Cheadle's up for a surprising amount of stuff.
Remember that Funny or Die thing where it's pretty much everyone's blaming Samuel L. Jackson for everything?
Yeah. It's your fault my kid smokes. You, Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, the same people did Don Cheadle as Captain Planet.
Yeah, they also did that wrestling one where that guy shaved off his beard and suddenly he was too nice.
Yeah.
What is Captain Planet's worst enemy? Captain Pollution or Mankind's hubris?
Woodpeckers.
Ted Turner.
Oh.
No, Ted Turner is Captain Planet. We know this.
Yes, he's his own worst enemy.
Cat. That burns my ass. Forget it.
Ted.
Forget it. Baby, the Captain Planet can.
Captain Planet.
I just love it. Ted Turner, almost naked in a bathroom, covering himself in blue paint.
I still remember Death Battle doing that Master Bison parody of Captain Planet.
Master Bison is a hero. Gonna take Pollution down to 0.
Gonna help him conquer the world. Are a bunch of guys who like to kung fu bitches.
We're in Shadaloo. You can be in too.
Taking over our planet is the thing to do. Looting.
Looting and polluting are not the way. Here's what Master Bison has to say. The power is mine.
Of course.
Oh wait, Shao Kahn killed me. No, I guess it's his now.
I would love to see a live-action Captain Planet movie.
The Planeteers.
Who would play the Planeteers? I mean, they're it's another movie where teenagers are the heroes. I think they just got away with it with Power Rangers. I think if they would do a Captain Planet movie, they'd...
If the Power Rangers movie was any good, it wouldn't be an issue that they were teenagers.
I know it was good, and that's why I think they got away with it. I mean, I'm still annoyed about the fact that they put a teenage Groot in the Avengers trailer. I think that could probably be the one thing I won't
The
like
Power
about
Rangers movie had potential to do something good, and it did nothing with it.
I think it did some good with it.
Look, I will grant that I think making Rita Repulsa the original Green Ranger was kind of cool. I don't like that Goldar was literally a giant gold piece of gold that couldn't speak or do anything. I kind of missed having Squat, Babu and Finster around.
Were Bulk and Skull there?
No, there is no Bulk and Skull.
Well then what was the point?
Oh, and Zordon's a cunt. I'm just going to throw that out there. Zordon's a dick.
He's also played by one of our favourite actors.
Which one?
Zordon.
Yeah, who plays him?
Well, you don't know?
No, I didn't look it up because, to be honest, I was trying to focus on the movie and trying to enjoy it in some way, but failing.
Well, who is it?
No. Really surprised you don't know.
Jack,
who is it?
Brian Cranston.
Ah. I thought... Yeah, I did hear it was him now that you mention it, but... Yeah. I couldn't...
Yeah, he didn't... Look, he just played in that complete asshole in the entire movie. Let's face it,
You obviously weren't paying attention.
it's hard to pay attention in that movie. So much crap is just trying to force so much crap in.
I know.
Well, some of us just really wanted it to be a good movie, and ultimately, when the fact that Rita Repulsa is one of the best parts in it, if only for the whole crazy homeless-looking woman bit where she starts eating gold. I think that was literally the only other bit that I enjoyed in it, because the characters themselves weren't that interesting.
I heard all of the Power Rangers were arseholes with very little justifiable reason for being so.
They had one bit where they basically had a he's in.
He did sacrifice his freedom for Billy, let's not forget.
Eventually. But his intention was he just wanted to get out of there because he didn't feel that the kids could, he didn't feel the team could do the job right.
Well, let's face it, he was probably right on that.
Look, yeah, he was probably right, and let's face it, the Megazord looked like shite.
No, I thought it looked pretty good, actually.
It looked like just another random Bayformers piece of crap.
Wow, how would you do it, Leonard?
Make it like the original.
Actually give it some personality.
Well,
Megazord never had personality.
Yeah, sometimes the simplest kind of design is sometimes the most effective.
Maleficent.
Speaking of effective, just how ineffective was this Forest of Thor? Did it literally do anything to hamper Prince Philip's progress?
Nor can you see how easy it
Maleficent
was for
appears to have given up on it in
Tara
advance.
would never do anything to help
Prince
you.
Philip. Out of my way, you horny bitch.
hello, Planty.
Within himself.
That's Prince Charles, you idiot.
Oh,
See for yourself.
Prince Charles was the guy who spoke to plants in the 80s.
sorry, one inbred's the same as the next to me.
Yeah, but one is more racist than the other.
Philip, you know better to play with strange witches.
It's not the same without her evil eye.
But yeah, the movie wasn't good, and they open it up for a sequel with the whole Tommy Oliver thing, but let's face it, Jason David Frank is going to be the only Tommy.
Yeah.
Mainly because he was the only person in the original who was actually any, actually interesting.
Apart from Bulk and Skull.
Yeah, well, Bulk and Skull were the heroes of that thing, whether you like it or not.
I've seen Jason David Frank on YouTube videos where he reprised his role as the Power Ranger.
Yeah, I mean, I have to give him credit. At least he isn't like the guy who played Billy, who made up a load of accusations just because he didn't like the fact that his role was finished. He basically lied about a lot of stuff that happened on set just so he try and get more money.
Would you say this boss fight is better than the one you had in the first game, Ollie?
It's a lot simpler, I'll give it that.
It also appears to be
I think we're meant to assume that these Keyblade wielders are a lot stronger than Sora.
Hey Ollie, pretend you're Ron and that's Krogan. You know you want to.
Braun and that's who? Oh, right. Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, no, the moment's gone.
Yeah, but, Bulk and Skull don't really get to do anything until I think it's Lost Galaxy or in space, I can't remember which one.
Well, Bulk and Skull didn't need to do anything. Everything that were in it, I found them to be more interesting than the Power Rangers.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, the Power Rangers originally didn't really have any personality apart from maybe Zack.
Bulk came back for Power Rangers Samurai.
I did like the original though. I did like the actual Jurei.
Given the amount of humiliation those two endured, I sometimes get the feeling they weren't paid enough to be in that show.
Well, from what I understand with the guy who played Billy, he wasn't very happy that after everything was over and Zeo was kind of coming up, he basically wasn't really as important to the show, so his role had diminished, thus his payments had been diminished. So he basically claims that everybody basically was extremely homophobic and horrible to him on set, so he could try and squeeze more money out of him. And they let him go, and then he left, so they had a really awkward way of ending the show. Well, his run in the show at least. And less about the Turbo movie, the better.
Okay, what's everybody's favourite series of Power Rangers?
Mighty Morphin.
Just because it was the one I got into before school every morning, mine is Time Force.
But remember one thing, as long as there is light, there will be darkness.
I like season 3 of Mighty Morphin only because Ninja was hilarious.
Like, if everyone remembers Time Force, that had the Rancic looked fucking sick as a villain.
You better stay strong for me.
He had sword bones that he pulled out of his leg. That is badass. It was like a cyborg Phantom of the Opera with sword bones.
Nice.
Impossible not to like.
Yeah, I know. I kind of liked the original version of Rita in Japan when she was evil witch Bandora, who basically kidnaps children and sacrificed them to Satan. Well, the thing is, in the Japanese version, the Megazord was actually alive and was only in several pieces because originally it was one big god, but then it got split in several pieces, one of which was the Megazord, one was Dragon Caesar, which was the Dragon Zord, and the other was Titanus.
I did like the Lost Galaxy Megazord that was alive, when the Rangers actually had given up hope because
I love that Rita lost her powers because she cried.
Have we been to that world as either of the other characters?
Which
we probably have. The one that just materialised. We probably have, but...
Maybe, but...
It's Radiant Garden. It's Radiant Garden. We've been there.
So we're going to have that boss fight then. You know the one.
Yeah, I'm probably ready for it.
I don't know this one.
Radiant Garden. Which eventually became Hollow Bastion. Basically, there's a boss fight in this one.
Again.
Well, in this one, there's a boss fight that Terra and Ventus have to fight. and Aqua's there as well. So you know, all three of them fighting. So it makes sense that Aqua would have to fight it too.
This is like one of the few points in the story where all three of them intersect.
Yeah, I kind of liked the original. I mean, don't get me wrong, I did like, you know, the Thunder Zord and the Ninja Zord and the Shogun Zord and stuff, and also Rita's retarded brother. Rito. Oh yeah, I loved Rito and Goldar's skits.
I'd be pleased if you punched
I mean, remember when they stopped? Remember when they stopped? Where they got their memories back and stole Vulcan Skull's bike? And I don't know why, but I think the whole fact that Goldar's suit is going to be very impractical to move around in anyway. You know, the actor inside that suit has got to be struggling, and yet they somehow managed to perfectly have him hold sunglasses on.
I felt that the Thunder Megazord series was getting a bit camp. I mean, they just showed the same things over and over again.
Well, they had to. Well, again, they had to because they were a lot of the stock footage they were using from Japan was from Zyuranger. And Zyuranger only lasted 50 episodes. I mean, they had to actually pay the people in Japan to make more scenes of the Green Ranger because in the Japanese one, the Green Ranger is only there for a couple of episodes, and then he died. So they had to make more and more scenes just for the Green Ranger. But then when it came to the next bit, they wanted to make, you know, to use the next series Megazord, but use the Zyuranger characters, which, you know, is different because it's a different Megazord from a different Power Rangers. So they brought in the Thunder Zord, and they did, however, the White Ranger's suit was actually from a different Power Rangers show altogether. That was from the Chinese Zodiac, because the Thunder Zords, I think, were the Chinese Zodiac Zords. I think, and the White Ranger was like from that particular series where they had different suits. But they brought that one over, although what always pissed me off with the filming is that Tommy's shoulder, you know, his like chest piece shield thing, sometimes it would be made out of a really crappy looking cloth, and then sometimes it'd actually be the actual armour.
One thing which I never fully understood is that there was this one YouTube video I found rating the top 10 most saddest moments in Power Rangers. And for the most part I found his choices difficult to agree with, but for some reason he named number 1 the bit where the Thunder Megazord and the White Tiger Megazord was destroyed.
I think when the original Megazord was, you know, when that went into the volcano, when the Thunder Zords broke, that was... You know what the funny thing about that was? They finally got the suits over from Japan for one time, and the only thing they did with them was break them. You know, they had them from the season 17 Power Rangers, Super Sentai show, because every other fight had been done in the Japanese, you know, there'd been Japanese stock footage, and then they finally get them in the States, and then they destroy them.
I found the description of the Megazords from Wild Force quite entertaining.
I found it funny that they used the Big Bad Beetleborgs characters in one of the Power Rangers episodes when they had every single Red Ranger back.
Yes, it's a pretty good episode considering that.
I mean, I liked Beetleborgs. It was funny.
I don't remember much of it, to be honest.
Well, the entire plot was these kids go into a mansion, they find a genie in a piano, basically, when there's a bunch of, you know, the usual monsters, a Frankenstein's monster, Mummy, Dracula, you know, all that stuff, a vampire, all that stuff. And they wish to become the characters from the comics, but in doing so, they also bring all the villains in.
The episodes are on
and
Netflix,
whenever they wanted to get new powers, or anything, they had to basically have it drawn in the comic, and then it could become theirs. And so they got like the original artist or something to come in and, you know, in the show, actually got him to draw stuff for them. And they made like one character that didn't really work out very well, and that kind of went somewhere. And then they had that whole metallics thing, and they ended it on a cliffhanger. And the weird kind of cliffhanger where the good guys are actually winning, because they got both versions of that big robot guy, because I remember for a while they had this big robot guy who would, who was evil, and they had one that was good, so they would constantly fight with each other. But then they actually got both of them on their side, so that was kind of cool. The main villains had been defeated. They had literally everything they needed to beat them, and the original artist, the evil artist who drew the villain stuff, just buggered off and decided to go back to prison. Weird way to end it.
I felt Power Rangers had some better conclusions.
Well, Power Rangers was a bigger, more popular show.
How did Masked Rider end?
I don't remember how that ended, because I know it was meant to tie in with Power Rangers and it never did.
Well, they did.
Because they declared that non-canon. That never happened now. Because they never mention it. Yeah, they never mention it again.
Mind you, one thing about that episode particularly bothered me. They had Timberland fighting this one monster that Vita had sent on her own, and the only way she was able to win was by giving that monster her coal. I would have found it more interesting if Dex from Max Rider came to her to help her fight.
I still like Ninja turning up in anything. His voice just made everything wonderful.
Ninja!
It's just everything about him was camp and ridiculous. We're looking for Ninja. He doesn't live here. Go away.
It's
I remember
right.
when the villains captured him, and then Rito accidentally dropped the pot that he was caught in. He just disappeared. And the whole thing that he invented, the morphing grid, that whole thing, and all that stuff that they end up retconning later, that Ninja created the coins and everything else.
Did he?
Apparently, yeah. Originally, when they mentioned it, they said when they lost their powers originally, when they lost the Thunderzords. I think it. Yeah, when they lost the Thunder.
Is that Kyrie?
Yeah, it is.
Thought so.
There's no way.
Yeah, when they lost the Thunderzords, they mentioned that the Alpha and Zordon originally found the command center and found the coins here, along with a map. They thought, and apparently they assumed that that someone else made the coins, and Ninja backs up the claim that he made the original Dino coins. But then he gives them the power of the ninja animals instead.
You must have been pretty annoyed that the Rangers pretty much wasted them.
Everything all right?
Well, it was literally just a whole thing of, well, they're not powerful enough now. Now I need to give you more power. It's kind of that whole thing when in Lost Galaxy, in Power Rangers in Space, when apparently there was that really powerful Megazord that was apparently just on another planet in the solar system that the Zordon had left there just in case, and apparently it was really fucking powerful. And then that just leads to, okay, so whenever we had problems with the original Megazord broke, or when the ninjas, the Shogun Zords, when they lost the Ninja and Shogun Zords and the Falcon Zord, or when, they lost the Turbo Zord and everything, why wasn't this a thing? Why didn't they call that up?
I think he put it there. I think he put it there after he left Earth.
No, it's apparently always been there.
No, that's a shame. They could have really used the Megazord. Or was it the Mega Voyager?
I don't know. Linkara did a complete history of the Power Rangers. This does a better following of it, to be honest.
Alright. May not have been the Mega Voyager. As I recall, the data cards found its way to some planet filled with some sort of Power Rangers Tatooine. They found themselves being wagered in some gambling, some sort of...
I liked when Alpha 5 became evil. when he just kept fucked around with Zordon's tube and drew hair and monocle and and a mustache on him.
I'm Mickey.
Oh, be quiet, you giant talking head.
I came back to him for some more training.
It's Tweedledummer.
I like it in Power Rangers in Space when Alpha was messing with Ecliptor.
Yep.
I think you might be
funny 'cause
absolutely right.
Alpha's voiced by the guy who voices Billy from
She must be
Billy and
somebody pretty
Mandy.
extraordinary.
Yes.
I also like that whole thing, you know,
She's
when they
someone
couldn't
we're supposed to
teleport, when the
protect.
Power Rangers couldn't teleport out of that area because it's the
join
one
forces.
area on the planet they can't use the teleport. Yeah, can't just teleport from.
I'll be okay.
And every time they escaped from there, like ran out because it was full of Rita's monsters, he just teleported them back in.
Here.
I especially like the bit where where he opened the cargo bay
Are these
doors
for
and
me?
tried to suck a Cliptor out into
I
space.
picked you some flowers.
A Cliptor
Thank
managed
you
to
for
get
saving me.
overcome this. He gets back in, and
They're lovely.
he knows who's
You're so
responsible for this
sweet.
because Alpha had caused
My
him
name's
trouble
Kyrie.
throughout the whole
Nice
episode.
to
And
meet
this
you.
time Cliptor was
Nice to
so
meet you
angry.
too.
He just said, "When
I'm
I
Aqua.
get my hands on
Kyrie,
you,
about
I'll..."
that light.
I still like the fact that
Oh,
Rita
Grandma.
got a better ending
Wait,
in this
Harry,
than
just a
in the
minute.
American series than she ever got in the Japanese one. Because in the Japanese
I just
one,
cast a
her
magic
son
spell
got
on you.
resurrected and became basically
One
Satan.
day when you're in
The
trouble,
Jew Rangers
the
killed
light
killed
within
him,
will lead
or
you to the
severely
light of
injured him and
heaven.
caused her to cry, so she lost all
Someone
of
to
her
keep you
powers
safe.
because of it. And then Megazord put
Thanks.
her back into the dumpster along with Scorpina and everyone else and threw them into space, and then Goldar and Scorpina had a baby, and apparently then Rita overcame her hatred of children. In the American version, she got hit with that wave after Zordon died, and her and
Hey,
Lord Zed
Grandma?
became normal.
Lord Zed apparently
Could you
came
tell me
back in a
that
Power
story?
Rangers video game.
Oh, he did, yeah. There was a PS2 Power Rangers game where Lord Zed came back. Apparently there were a lot of complaints about Lord Zed when he was first brought onto the TV screens. Parents were terrified of him because he's literally a skinless creature with a metal exoskeleton with loads of tubes going into his body.
I thought that was pretty good.
I loved Lord Zed's design, but I do understand why parents would be terrified of him.
It covered
I'm not hiding, Ed. It's not Ed. It's Lord Zed.
Yeah, I loved that Zed ended up just having to deal with Rita's family, and he hated her dad with a passion because he was better at his job than her, rather than him, and absolutely hated Rito because he could never pronounce his name. Although I liked that the Machine Empire got kicked out of the Alliance of Evil, and then somehow they're back in the Power Rangers in space.
That's why the world is still
He
scattered.
doesn't live here, go away.
Yeah, Ollie, I don't think you ever got to experience Ninja.
No, I never did.
Episodes are on Netflix, see for yourself.
Oh yeah, oh god, yeah. Ninja was fucking hilarious. Because he was too camp to be taken seriously, but he was basically, he could turn into like a Megazord sized thing, and he could even transform into a samurai.
Never defeat you.
Oh, and let's not forget Auric the Conqueror Zord and that ridiculous thing.
Push the darkness away.
God, but the toy of him was annoying as hell.
Does anybody remember Goldar's Cyclopsis?
Something tells me.
Yes, I remember
I
that.
didn't
That
run into her
actually,
by accident.
Cyclopsis wasn't Goldar's in the Japanese dub. That was actually Satan. Because in the original series, that Cyclopsaur thing was the last villain.
On first,
Yes, I
it
did
never
quite like
But it was
that.
controlled by Rita's kid. But then it got defeated by Dial Tenjin, which is just all of the Zords combined. Oh yeah, seeing Dragon Zord go on a depressive state because the Green Ranger's dead was actually kind of sad.
He calls it a War Zord. I don't get much of that. I find that modern day Power Rangers somewhat seem to have gone downhill from its
Well,
previous-
yes, I know. Yes, it has kind of gone downhill.
Well, no series on any media has been consistently good after going on for that long.
I mean, hell, Megaforce. The biggest thing in Megaforce that happened was that Tommy came back, and then all the Power Rangers came back. Literally every single Power Ranger who ever existed came back, and the fact that he was somehow able to not only turn into his White Ranger form to save a kid. again, they got every... I would have loved it more if they'd actually got some of the more obscure suits from the other Super Sentai series. But I suppose using only the ones that were in the American dub was probably the best they were going to do. What I did like is in the Japanese version, they actually did get the guy who played the Green Ranger originally to come back to reprise his role, even though in storyline rules he was basically dead and had passed away, and his soul had passed off, but he'd somehow come back for this.
I found some of the monster designs for Megaforce to be quite interesting, although I think their personalities were a bit stupid.
Yeah.
Who can forget the putties?
Oh yes, they were a lot more diverse in Japan. The fact that they could, they could transform into other things. But yes, I did love the putties, and the fact that Rita once sent them down to wreck Kimberly's shit. No, not to kill her, just to go around and destroy her parade float or something.
Go, my putties, wreck her shit.
Oh, I remember when Goldar kidnapped her and did that spell which was supposed to make her fall in love with Lord Zed, so she could replace him. She could be his bride, and he basically dressed her up as Rita, and she did a very spot-on impression. He's like, I can do this. Breathe, and then she just starts acting like Rita and just abuses the shit out of them, and Goldar's like, for once I regret this. My magic is too powerful.
This place is fine. Oh, you're giving me such a headache.
That would normally lead to a conclusion that maybe you're the pregnant Goldar.
Oh god.
Although one thing I did quite like about Goldar, first episode of the Space series, everyone's trying to get their hands on androids who've just been revealed as a spy, but out of all of them, it's Goldar who actually unmasks him. There was also Goldar who beat up Ninja. That's something to think about.
Yeah, the thing is, in the American dub, Scorpina and Goldar were made a lot more powerful. I think they did a thing before the Green Ranger joined the Power Rangers in Japan, they had a whole thing where he found out he was basically going to die. The candle thing was actually a thing, was actually introduced a lot earlier, because basically the Green Ranger in Japan, his story was that he was meant to be revived along with the other Power Rangers, but he died his body died while in stasis because he was crushed. So the Japanese god Clotho brought him back, but could only bring him back using the candle magic thing. So once the candle runs out, he will die, but the candle will only burn so long as he goes to the world of the living. Once he finds this out, he gets Dragon Caesar, which is Dragon Zord, goes completely apeshit, and starts destroying stuff, so Rita sends down Goldar and Scorpina, who get their asses handed to them. Fire! The Green Ranger was a lot more powerful. But in the American version, I noticed that Scorpina never really lost, ever.
I think she lost in that Mirror of Destruction episode.
I don't remember her actually ever losing to the Power Rangers at any point. I remember she was involved in things that set them back temporarily, like she was involved in that fight where Megazord had to fight Goldar, Scorpina and the giant Green Ranger. But from what I understand as well, they didn't use the actress as much, because she was very difficult to work with. It is, because if you remember, she was in the first episode of Season 2, literally with Rita, then when Lord Zed turns up, she really doesn't turn up again. And if you also look, you might notice that when Rita's there, they never show her face when Lord Zed's around. They always have the camera right behind her, and always, look away, and she's looking down, so you can't see her face. Seriously, go back and watch it. You'll notice after that one scene when the castle starts shaking and when Lord Zed actually shows up, you won't see Rita's face at all. And no, the doll he turns her into doesn't count. Though the fact when she came back and then she made him fall in love with her.
Yeah, so did you change the actress for that?
Yeah, basically what they did was, because again they were using Japanese stock footage, there really wasn't any footage of the original woman who played Rita with Lord Zed, because Lord Zed is an American-owned creation. There is no Japanese counterpart to work with. So when they had Lord Zed and Rita, and they had to give an excuse to get rid of Rita for a while, they basically got a different actress to play her, but they didn't focus on her face. They kept the voice in, but they kept the camera away from her face so you couldn't tell it was a different actress. Then when she did come back full time, they got a different actress to play her.
Very sure about that. I thought Rita's original actress was better.
Well, again, she was dubbed over. The actress who played her in the original show, that was all Japanese. That was the Japanese actress. They just had someone voice over her. How she got the job, I think, was pretty funny as well. I think from what I heard, she just turned up at one point, and I think she did like a bad audition, and then she got really angry, and apparently that got her the job.
As far as I can tell, there's only one monster the Power Rangers have fought who they've never actually defeated.
Which one?
I believe it was Ego. It's the giant floating head thing that can blow out blizzards and shoot lightning from his hair.
Oh yeah, Satan. Yeah, him.
They didn't call him that in the...
They won't call him that, because of course they won't call him that, but he was basically the thing in the original Japanese one. He was the thing that gave Rita her powers. Once they defeated the Cyclopsis monster thing in the original, that thing just died.
I didn't see him die in the American series. I think he's actually still out there. I'm surprised they haven't made better use of him.
Well, they retcon a lot of things, remember. They like to forget certain things exist.
Oh, shame. I thought he was one of the more effective villains.
I mean, remember the Zeo Crystal's entire point was made pointless by the Turbo Zords but when you realise that the Zeo Crystals get more powerful as time goes by, well...
Does anyone remember Madame Woe?
No.
She was freaky.
Couldn't that movie's first girlfriend.
And she was voiced by Alex Borstein. Lois from Family Guy.
Oh wow.
Did you know that Brock, who played Hal and Malcolm in the Middle, actually played the Pumpkin Head monster from Power Rangers?
I did not.
I think he did. I know he played one monster from Power Rangers.
I'll be right back.
And I think there have been at least 2 monsters in Power Rangers who've resorted to rapping. There was the Pumpkin Head thing, and the Hate Master. Who Lord Zed created for Rita's anniversary, to instill hate in the Rangers. I want to keep doing that.
I've been toying with the idea. I'm probably going to buy a capture card over the next week or two. At which point I might be able to stream to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. On the PlayStation at least. I would have to use the PS4's broadcast function for one of them and stream with the capture card to the other one. But the effect should be much the same.
Okay.
Hey, that's until it all goes horribly wrong.
But of course I've never actually done this, so this is all just theoretical.
Yeah.
Theoretically speaking, you can stream videos of Steam through other than Twitch. I'll be surprised if you are restricted to just streaming stuff on Twitch, but I wouldn't be surprised. But
apparently Twitch is better for streaming games anyway.
We make a good team.
I'm open to the prospect that you would be restricted.
Oh yeah, I got you these tickets.
For what?
Lifetime passes to Disney Town. He said you.
I wouldn't worry too much about streaming. I'd be more concerned about
what. Two grown-ups.
You mean us? Listen to me, Ven.
How are we going to talk if you're streaming on the computer?
It's okay, Aqua. Trust me.
Yeah, that's
history. We'll never badmouth Terra again.
Yeah. There's got to be a way to fix that. Because Skype has been working for me in the past, which means something is wrong. If something is wrong, that means it can be fixed.
You let Aqua take you.
No way.
It doesn't work.
I want to go with you guys.
Sorry?
I can't.
What exactly do you mean when it doesn't work? And what happens when you try and switch it off?
I don't want you to get hurt.
Nothing.
And what is this dangerous task, Terra?
Nothing.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like
Did
what the
you try
master told you to
uninstalling
do.
and reinstalling it?
It might be a different route,
a couple
but
of
I'm fighting the
times.
darkness.
But
I'm not so sure. I've been to
like,
the same
maybe
labs
there's
as you
been
were.
a change in my settings that I don't know about that has
You shouldn't
done
put
something.
yourself so close to the darkness.
Listen to yourself,
I don't
Aqua.
know.
Terra would never.
You mean you've been spying on me? Is that what he said?
Oh god,
The master's
we've seen
orders?
this scene twice
He was
before,
only...
but
Aqua.
I get it.
Terra.
Just stay put. I'm on my own now. All right?
It makes me think about the Incredibles
Terra,
PS2 game.
Listen. The master
They
has
had two
no reason
cutscenes
to
that were pretty
distrust
much
you,
the
really.
same, the exact same dialogue,
He was
but they
just worried.
gave close-ups on characters who were going to take on a different mission.
So now you know the truth.
it's probably
But the
why
master
they
loves Terra.
There was one mission
And
where
you
you
know
play as
that
Mr.
too.
Incredible and his wife, and they're both
Were
doing
you
things at the
also
exact same
ordered to
time
take me
in
home?
different areas of the island. So they had one cutscene happening before them, but they gave close-ups on
Aqua.
who was
Now
who
that
was
you're a
going to
Keyblade
do it,
master,
who was going to go on the mission.
you've let it go to your head. I'm gonna go find Terra.
I don't particularly think it was as good as the film.
Well, of
Had
course it
some
was.
moments. It had some moments.
Terra. Then.
I mean, The Incredibles 2 isn't going to compare to the first one. Like, you would probably better just accept that now.
Depends how it tries.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see Wreck-It Ralph 2, you know, being as good as the original, but it surprises me.
I felt that Legend of Zorro had some moments that was better than half of Zorro, but only some, definitely not all. The bit where McGibbons died, he gets tied to that wheel and that one black nitro glycerin comes down his head and he knows what's going to happen. He just screams. You get just enough early commentary to see exactly what he's under, and you get time to say, oh, crap.
I'll be back in a bit.
Okay. That question mark above your head?
Yeah, she's confused.
Why is she confused?
Because she was hit by the confused status.
Oh my god, you are fighting Pokemon, aren't you? You ought to be careful, Ollie. Getting confused was one of the things that caused Mega Charizard to lose to War Greymon. I do like that fight. I've been saying that Digimon was better since Genius School, and then I watch that death battle and I get to say, you might have heard the phone ring, because I called it. And then we had Boomstick moments later saying, oh, my childhood. And I say in commentary, take that Boomstick's childhood.
Remember, kids. Remember me.
As for me, these days when I get moments to say, ow, my childhood, I'd probably hear it say, hello Jack, I'm your childhood. You're still alive?
Hello, Card, it's us. You've betrayed us. We're going to kill your new wife now.
You appear to be online on Skype, Ollie.
Do I?
Yes.
Well, I'm not.
That's... It says you're away at the moment. What?
Right, hold on. What that might be is that I
Do you even have your computer on?
No.
What the hell?
Right, what I think that might be is that my...
Right now. I might have phoned you.
What that might be is because I had a tutorial on Friday, but it was Skype only. Skype is now active on my phone. Right. So it's probably that.
Try using it. You have now been switched to online.
Yep.
You are now switched to away again.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's because it's on my phone. Like, I'm signed in on my phone. Not really an ideal setup, but
it's a step in the right
Just
direction.
as I said it would happen, here's the third one. That book is almost more trouble than it's worth.
In theory, you could probably
Say
set
no
it to
more.
speakerphone
In the
and
book
you'd be
you
able to
need
hear
to
us
awaken
talking
the
to you
powers
anyway.
within you is just inside. Read to your heart's content, my dear.
I'm the third? Terra and Ventus were here?
Merlin claims that he has visited future timelines and seen all the wonders of modern-day humanity. He clearly hasn't visited this timeline.
He hasn't brought back a rifle.
If I was Merlin coming into the future from the past, coming to the past, seeing Donald Trump as president, I'd probably say, "Oh, gee, Jehoshaphat, no!"
Now, let's start farming places. I saw a picture that said... I did see a picture that said online that just had a picture of the Trunchbull from Matilda, and it goes, "Before you start thinking about arming teachers, imagine a gun in the hands of this bitch."
Yes. Ventus. Tell me something. Has he learned to put up a decent fight
I
yet?
don't think she'd use it,
What do you
actually. I
mean?
still think she'd prefer to
I'll
use
be
her
asking
fists.
the questions. And why shouldn't I? After all,
I'd love to see her versus Luna for
between the two of
Sean.
us, I'm the only
I'd
one
like to
who'll
see her
walk away
versus
from here
Kingpin
alive.
from Daredevil, from the Daredevil Netflix series.
Oh, you know that Daredevil would win.
I wasn't talking about
Or
Daredevil.
Kingpin.
Yes, I know. That was one of the things I'd like to see.
Just want to see Kingpin beat the shit out of her.
Sorry, who are we talking about?
The Trunchbull from Matilda being beaten up by the Kingpin. This is for all the homework you gave me as a child. And you strangle her back there.
Gotcha. Fire! Suffer! Take that!
I think my favourite Trunchbull line is when she starts to realise that she's not alone in her home, and she just goes, "Come on, fight like a man!"
I'd laugh if Scott Steiner just burst out like, "Ah!" and then just died belly to belly and go around the house. And now I've broken your fucking neck! I'm gonna shit in your house!
That's not even a thing Scott Steiner does.
I know!
I wish it was though, because it sounds hilarious.
I know. I was playing 2K18 the other day, and Ian told me just please download Scott Steiner to fight against Ollie. I went, why? Even so we can finally have the storyline where Scott Steiner shits in his house. Why? I run a very serious wrestling company. Why would I do that as a storyline?
That sounds like a TNA storyline, to be honest.
Oh God.
I'm surprised you didn't go into Merlin's home, Ollie. I mean, what if he sings "Take Me Home"?
I don't think I could go to Merlin again.
Why not? It's a
Anything
good scene.
spectacular as the scene is.
Who are you?
Yes, it is. I watched that scene multiple times because it's spectacular.
Not bad at all.
Not as much as I watched the
Congratulations.
scene from the first one,
I'll
but that
keep you
gives me a
around.
moment of patriotic pride.
Never hurts to have a backup.
Ah!
Oh, I know what you're
My
thinking.
favourite scene from the first one is the church fight.
Of course it
I
was.
have to stop him before anything else happens
I
to
think that
Terra
was my
and Ven.
favourite as well. Head exploding
Aqua!
thing is what I watch when I'm feeling less
Ven!
proud.
Were you able to find him?
Yeah.
I know what you're thinking. Only Jack
gone.
could find patriotic spirit in a scene from a film that involves heads exploding.
Then
I somehow
can't
think
stay
he'd
here.
like the scene from
Let me go
Scanners.
with you, Aqua.
No,
I
Van.
heard of that one.
Do as I say and go home.
I haven't seen. Oh, Scanners is known for this one scene where there's this guy and suddenly on the news, and suddenly he's twitching and everything, and then suddenly his head just
I don't want to put you in
explodes.
harm's way. You understand?
So that head explosion video is just hilarious. Because it's so clear that it's fake. It's just so fun.
One of the things I find rather humorous is the number of times Homer has shown Homer Simpson has shown genuine passion for something when they went to Tokyo and he goes to see the lavatory. They're years ahead of us, and I find myself saying, only Homer can be technologically marvelled by a toilet. And then there was the Australia special where they demonstrate that they've modified the toilet so that it combats homesickness by flushing as if it's on the other side of the hemisphere. And Homer has it. Or can be patriotically inspired by a toilet.
Right.
Before Lethal Weapon 2, I never thought there could be a bomb in my toilet, but now I check every time. It's true, he does.
Right. I don't really feel like doing another world. I think I want to kind of call it here. It's getting late.
It is actually.
So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.